Change is the only constant in life, and rather than fearing it, we should welcome it as a powerful catalyst for growth. At 72, you've learned that change opens new doors, bringing fresh opportunities and experiences. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal beliefs, embracing change leads to transformation and a richer, more fulfilled life. In this article, we explore key life lessons from a 72-year-old that will shift your perspective on aging, success, and happiness. From embracing change to understanding the value of relationships, these insights will inspire you to live with purpose and gratitude. 2. The power of gratitude. Finding joy in the everyday. Building on the idea of embracing change, another lesson that comes with age is the importance of gratitude. At 72, you begin to realize that true happiness isn't found in grand gestures or monumental achievements, but in the small, everyday moments that often go unnoticed. A simple morning coffee, a walk in the park, or a phone call with an old friend. These are the moments that truly fill your heart with joy. I remember one powerful moment when a close friend of mine, who had just turned 72, shared a touching story about gratitude. He had been going through a rough patch in his life, dealing with health issues and the loss of loved ones. Yet, when I asked him how he stayed positive, he simply smiled and said, "I focus on the blessings I still have. Every day, I remind myself to be thankful for the little things, like the warm sun on my face or the sound of birds chirping outside my window." This simple shift in perspective is a game changer. It's so easy to get caught up in what we don't have or what we've lost. But when you consciously choose to focus on what's still good in your life, you start to realize that joy isn't something you find outside of yourself. It's within. Gratitude becomes a powerful tool that transforms your mindset, helping you see the world in a new light. Many of us, especially when we are younger, tend to chase external achievements, be it wealth, fame, or status. While these things can bring temporary happiness, true contentment comes from within. At 72, my friend had learned this truth. His life wasn't perfect, but he had learned to be grateful for the love of family, the laughter of friends, and the small everyday victories that many of us overlook. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It helps you realize that, no matter how challenging life can be, you always have something to be thankful for. And this shift has a ripple effect. It brings more joy, peace, and even better health into your life. In fact, studies have shown that practicing gratitude regularly can reduce stress, improve relationships, and increase overall life satisfaction. As we age, it becomes clearer that the value of life isn't measured by what we acquire or achieve, but by how deeply we appreciate what we already have. Gratitude not only enhances your emotional well-being, but also strengthens your relationships, deepens your connections, and makes you more present in the moment. The simple act of acknowledging the goodness around you can change your entire outlook. So, take a moment today to reflect on what you're grateful for. Maybe it's the smile of a loved one, the beauty of a sunset, or even the ability to breathe easily. Whatever it is, let it fill you with warmth and remind you of the countless blessings you already possess. In the end, it's not the big things that matter most, but the quiet, everyday moments that remind us of life's profound beauty. 3. The importance of health. A lesson in self-care. Building on the idea of gratitude and appreciating life's small blessings. One of the most powerful lessons that comes with age is the importance of health. As we grow older, we begin to understand the true value of our well-being. The energy we once took for granted becomes more precious, and we realize that no amount of money or success can replace the ability to enjoy life in full. Health is not just about physical strength, but about feeling well in mind and spirit too. I recall a conversation with my grandmother, who had lived a long and fulfilling life. She once told me, "As I age, I realize that everything I've achieved means little if I can't enjoy it in good health. Take care of yourself, because without your health, nothing else matters." Her words stuck with me, especially as I watched her take small but meaningful steps to maintain her health even in her later years. At 72, many individuals have experienced health challenges, chronic conditions, mobility issues, or even the natural slowing down of the body. But rather than becoming discouraged, many older adults embrace health with a different mindset. They understand that taking care of their bodies is an ongoing, daily commitment that contributes to the quality of life. Small choices like eating nutritious meals, staying active, and practicing mindfulness can make a world of difference. This lesson is especially important in today's fast-paced world, where health often takes a backseat to work, social pressures, and personal goals. The truth is, health is not just about avoiding illness. It's about maintaining balance and vitality in all areas of life. It's about making time for movement, nourishing your body with whole foods, getting enough rest, and finding ways to manage stress. These simple practices add up over time, contributing to longevity and well-being. I've seen many people in their 70s who prioritize their health in simple yet powerful ways. One friend, for example, in his early 70s, made it a habit to walk every morning before breakfast. It was his time to clear his mind, breathe in the fresh air, and prepare for the day. He always said, "A healthy body leads to a healthy mind, and that's the key to happiness." This daily ritual wasn't just about staying fit. It was about nurturing a mindset of self-care, which ultimately led to a better quality of life. Taking care of your health isn't just about avoiding illness. It's about maintaining the energy and vitality to do what you love. For many older adults, their health empowers them to continue traveling, spending time with loved ones, and pursuing hobbies or passions. These experiences become even more fulfilling when you feel your best. So, as you continue your journey in life, remember the importance of your health. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency and care. Small actions every day can lead to lasting vitality and happiness. Your health is truly the foundation for living a life that's full, joyful, and meaningful. 4. Embracing change, the power of adaptability. Building on the importance of health and well-being, another profound lesson that becomes clear with age is the power of embracing change. Life is ever evolving, and one of the most vital skills you can develop is the ability to adapt to whatever challenges or opportunities arise. The older generations understand this concept better than anyone. They've lived through decades of transformation, personal, social, and global, and have witnessed the beauty that comes from learning to navigate change with grace and resilience. I remember sitting with my 72-year-old neighbor, a woman who had lived through a lot. She had seen wars, moved countries, and adjusted to a completely different way of life. She shared with me how her perspective on change had shifted over the years. "Change used to scare me," she confessed, "but now I see it as the greatest opportunity for growth. The world is constantly moving, and so must we." Her words struck me deeply, especially as I reflected on the challenges that change had brought into my own life. Adapting to change becomes a crucial lesson in our later years because, as we age, we are confronted with more moments of transition. From adjusting to a slower pace of life, learning new technologies, to managing changes in relationships, we must find ways to embrace these shifts. The truth is, life's only constant is change, and resisting it can lead to unnecessary stress and frustration. One key insight I've learned is that embracing change doesn't mean you have to let go of who you are. It's about remaining grounded in your values while staying open to new experiences. This is what I saw in my grandmother, who, in her 70s, embraced technology. She learned to video chat with family members, which allowed her to stay connected despite the distance. At first, she resisted, but over time, she realized the value it brought. Change, though initially uncomfortable, opened up new possibilities for her. It's also important to recognize that embracing change doesn't mean forcing yourself into new situations that don't feel authentic. It's about responding to change in a way that aligns with your inner needs. For instance, many people who are older find joy in simple changes, like taking up a new hobby or reorganizing their living space to reflect who they've become. For them, it's not about drastic life alterations, but rather making small adjustments that bring fresh energy and meaning to life. Adapting to change can also mean letting go of the past. The ability to forgive, release old grudges, and embrace new possibilities is incredibly freeing. A close family friend in his early 70s told me about how he had spent years holding on to resentment over an old business deal that went sour. It wasn't until he let go of that resentment that he truly found peace. "Change comes from within," he said, "and once you let go of your baggage, you create space for new blessings." In a world that moves fast, Learning to embrace change becomes one of the most empowering tools to navigate life's ups and downs. With each change, we have the potential to evolve, grow, and find joy in the unexpected. It's never too late to learn to embrace the flow of life, finding freedom in the flexibility to change. After all, the secret to thriving in life is not in resisting the inevitable, but in gracefully dancing with it. 5. The importance of relationships. Connection over material success, building on the idea of embracing change and growth. Another life lesson that becomes clear as we age is the significance of relationships. In a world that often prioritizes career success, wealth, and material accomplishments, many older individuals come to understand that true happiness lies not in possessions, but in the connections we build with others. This lesson resonates especially with those who have lived through years of change and are now reflecting on what truly matters. I'll never forget a conversation I had with my 72-year-old uncle, who, after retiring, found himself reflecting deeply on his past. Despite having enjoyed a successful career and built financial stability, he found that much of his happiness came from the relationships he had nurtured over the years. He said, "At the end of the day, it's not the money you make or the things you buy. It's the people you love and who love you back. That's what truly matters." He had a point. As we chase after success and the endless pursuit of more money, more status, more stuff, we often forget the simple joy of human connection. We get lost in the hustle, and when we look up, we realize that the people around us have moved on or drifted away. It's only in our later years that we start to grasp the full value of the relationships we've cultivated, or the lack of them. My own grandmother was an epitome of this lesson. Growing up, she had always been the anchor of our family, creating a warm, loving environment where people gathered not because of material things, but because of her heart. She was known for her generosity, her deep, unconditional love for her children and grandchildren, and her ability to listen without judgment. As she grew older and her health began to decline, it was clear to see that her relationships were the foundation of her happiness. Visitors would come to see her, not because she had anything to offer except her love and wisdom, but because they valued her as a person. When my grandmother passed away, I was struck by the number of people who showed up at her funeral, each person sharing stories of how she had touched their lives. It wasn't her wealth or the material things she had collected over the years that people remembered. It was her kindness, her time, and the emotional connections she had built with others. This was the wealth that mattered most. As I've grown older, I've come to realize that the richest people are not those with the biggest bank accounts, but those who have created a life full of meaningful, lasting relationships. Whether it's family, friends, or even mentors, these bonds are what give life its true value. They offer comfort, support, and joy in ways that no material possession can. This lesson of prioritizing relationships over material success is something that many learn as they age, after experiencing the fleeting nature of wealth and possessions. As we move through life, it's the people we meet, the love we share, and the moments we create together that make life truly worth living. The beauty of this realization is that it's never too late to nurture relationships, to deepen connections, and to recognize that in the end, love is the most important thing we can give and receive. 6. Embracing impermanence. How acceptance of change can lead to peace. Reflecting on the value of relationships naturally leads us to an important truth that many learn as they age: the impermanence of life. It's an undeniable fact that nothing in life stays the same forever, whether it's our loved ones, our health, or our circumstances. Yet, it's our acceptance of this change, rather than our resistance to it, that brings us peace. As I've grown older, I've come to understand that peace isn't found in clinging to what we have, but in the quiet acceptance of what comes and goes. One of the most impactful lessons I learned in my 72-year-old friend's story was about impermanence. She often shared how, after the death of her beloved partner, she had struggled with overwhelming grief, unable to accept the void his passing left. She'd spent years resisting this painful reality, until one day, a moment of clarity washed over her. She realized that everything, even the most cherished things, must eventually change or fade away. That moment was transformative. She began to embrace the truth that life is constantly evolving, and trying to hold onto the past would only lead to more suffering. It was then that she started to find peace, not by wishing for things to be different, but by allowing herself to move forward with grace. She learned to treasure the memories she had, but not to let them define her. The story reminds me of my own experience with a job I loved. For years, I poured my heart into my work, and the thought of letting it go terrified me. When the company underwent significant restructuring, I was faced with the reality that the job I cherished was no longer mine. It was a painful transition, and I fought against it for months. But over time, I realized that life had moved me to new opportunities that I wouldn't have discovered had I not accepted the change. In fact, I came to see the change as a gift, an invitation to grow and explore new avenues I had never considered before. Acceptance of impermanence doesn't mean resigning ourselves to apathy or giving up on what we love. Instead, it's about cultivating resilience and an open heart to new possibilities. It's about understanding that change is a natural part of life, and while we may not always control when or how it happens, we can control how we respond to it. This lesson becomes clearer with age. As we experience the many ups and downs life offers, we learn that true peace comes from within, from the ability to accept what we cannot change and to move forward with an open mind and a grateful heart. When we resist change, we remain stuck in a cycle of frustration. But when we embrace it, we unlock the freedom to truly live fully, to cherish what we have, and to let go when it's time. In a world that is always shifting, embracing impermanence is one of the most powerful tools we have to cultivate inner peace. We don't have to fear change. Instead, we can learn to dance with it, knowing that every new chapter holds something valuable, even if we can't yet see what it is. 7. The power of gratitude. Why appreciating the small things leads to greater happiness. As we come to understand the importance of embracing change and accepting the impermanence of life, we start to see the deep value in another powerful lesson: gratitude. It's easy to get lost in the hustle of life, always reaching for the next big thing, the next milestone, the next achievement. But the true key to happiness lies not in what's to come, but in appreciating what we already have. The art of gratitude shifts our focus from what's missing to what's present, and in doing so, it opens the door to an abundant sense of peace and fulfillment. I remember a conversation I had with my 72-year-old friend, who shared her reflections on a lifetime of lessons. She told me how, after surviving some of the most difficult periods in her life, losing her partner, dealing with health issues, and facing financial struggles, she had learned the incredible power of gratitude. It wasn't the big things, she said, but the small moments, like the sunshine on my face or the laughter of my grandchildren, that carried me through. I learned that appreciating those moments could fill me with more happiness than I ever imagined. Her words struck a chord with me. In the pursuit of goals and success, we often forget to stop and appreciate the small, everyday blessings that make life truly meaningful. It's easy to think that happiness is something we need to chase, but what if it's already here, waiting for us to recognize it? Gratitude helps us see the beauty in the ordinary. Whether it's a warm cup of tea on a cold morning, a walk through nature, or simply the kindness of a stranger, gratitude isn't just a feel-good concept. It's a mindset that can transform our mental and emotional well-being. Studies have shown that regularly practicing gratitude can improve our mood, boost our relationships, and even improve our physical health. But beyond the science, it's the personal experiences that truly illustrate its impact. I think back to the time when I was struggling emotionally after a series of setbacks in my life. I felt like nothing was going right, and the weight of the challenges I was facing made it hard to see beyond my struggles. But when I made a conscious effort to reflect on the things I was grateful for, even the small things, it was as though a veil had been lifted. Slowly but surely, my perspective began to shift. I realized that while things weren't perfect, there was so much good around me that I had overlooked. The simple act of gratitude had a profound impact on my happiness. It wasn't about pretending that everything was perfect or ignoring the challenges I faced. It was about recognizing that there was still beauty and joy in the midst of hardship. Gratitude allows us to focus on the positives, no matter how small, and in doing so, it brings us peace and contentment. In the end, gratitude is not just a habit, it's a lifestyle. It's about living with awareness, embracing the present moment, and recognizing that every day offers something worth appreciating. As we grow older, we realize that it's not the grand achievements or the possessions we accumulate that bring us true happiness, but the simple moments of connection, beauty, and peace. When we cultivate gratitude, we unlock the secret to living a life filled with more joy, more love, and more fulfillment than we ever imagined. If you found value in this video, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button to show your support and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on gratitude or life lessons. We absolutely love reading your feedback, and we're so grateful for your engagement. Red heart and hey, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to check out our other videos for more wisdom, tips, and life-changing insights. You won't want to miss them. Mobile phone with arrow sparkle subscribe, and stay tuned for more content that will inspire, empower, and uplift you on your life's journey. Let's continue to grow together. Seedling Red Heart.